None of us can go back. All we can do is our best.
Keep pounding, you can't see us, you can't read us, all we do is keep.
Hello, and everyone, and welcome back to I Bleed Blue podcast. This is the second episode of Carolina Panthers Undrafted Free Agent. This is a continued version going on to the players that I mentioned before that I feel like possibly would have a harder time making the 53-man roster, and I do believe a few of these players will end up at least on the practice squad. So without further ado, let's jump to it. And the first player we are going to talk about is Arkansas linebacker. Everybody seems to know him already. Bumper Pool. This guy is an extremely heavy hitter, and he has some insane highlights in making the plays. And a lot of people are wondering why he wasn't selected in the draft. Well, quite simply put, even though he did produce highly at Arkansas for the last 2 seasons, over 90 tackles per season, he just didn't test well. His size, he's 6'2", 235 pounds, and he ran a 4.7 240. Now, that's not to say that he can't be a good player. I mean, there's a lot of players that don't test very well, and then they go out and they just completely ball out. It's just one of those things. Some people have better game speed than they do testing speed. Now, if that's going to be the case with Bumper Pool, that's yet to be seen. Well, again, we're going to have to wait and see how he does during the preseason, training camp, all of that. But one thing for sure, the dude can lay a hit. I'm talking about a Sean Taylor type hit. He can just lay him out. At the very least, I would love for us to put this kid on special teams, on the punt return as a gunner. You hit a punt returner like that hard enough times in a game, there's a good chance that ball is going to come out. You pair him up with Sam Franklin. I'm not sure how familiar most of y'all are with Sam Franklin. He has been under the team for a few years now, but he does kind of play that backup role. He comes in to fill in at safety. Sam Franklin can hit too. He is a very heavy hitter, and I think pairing these two up here would be the ideal fit. You have one on each side. Someone's going to lay a hit on that punt returner. And I like the idea of that. Let's see. Okay. Again, Bumper Pool for 7'2", 240. He has a slight frame at 6'2", 235 pounds, which is on the smaller side for somebody who plays the linebacker position. It wouldn't be unheard of to have someone like this move back to safety, but with that 4.72 40 time, I just don't know if that's going to be an effective move for him. Again, he may be a lot faster in gameplay speed. I know that some people, I don't know what it is, they just don't test very well when it comes to running. You get in the game, you get your adrenaline pumping, you run a lot faster, you make decisions a lot faster, and you're just all around a different player compared to what you were when you were testing. So that's why I don't put all my eggs in the basket when it comes to the combine. You see some players that have excellent combines and they do absolutely nothing. Then you have players that don't exactly excel in the combine and they absolutely kill it. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, he had 90 tackles in each of his last 2 seasons. An extremely hard hitter. He is great in the run defense. He knows how to read, get to the ball, and make a heavy hit, make a tackle, bring the ball carrier down. He is great with the run defense. So if you want to bring him in and put him in a package that's specifically, you know they're going to try to run the ball, say on the 4th and 1, 3rd and short, it would be a smart idea to bring this kid in, let him snip out that ball, that runner, and bring him down. As long as they don't bounce it to the outside, he should be able to make a stop. He does lack change of direction speed. I mean, that's to be given. And he just, according to his testing, he just lacks speed in general. Not going to knock the kid for it. Again, he could be faster in gameplay. I'm not 100% sure. But he is also what I would think would make a great special team gunner in the NFL. Next, we got Cameron Peoples. Running back from Appalachian State. Go ahead and get that muted there. Now this is what appears to me they're trying to replace Deontay Foreman and get a big, heavier guy. He is 6'1", 217 pounds, so he's a bigger back, and he can definitely lay the wood. He's not afraid of contact. He can run through you. He can somewhat run around you. He's not the fastest. He ran a 4.6 140. So in the NFL, when everybody is extremely fast, he might not be able to get to the edge like you're seeing in the tape here. But he's definitely a north to south runner. He runs very heavy. He's not afraid of contact. He'll run through you, as I said. So in that regards, he is very much similar to Deontay Foreman, who we had last year. Where the difference changes is with his speed. A lot of people don't recognize just how fast Deontay Foreman was. He ran a 4.4 540 at 6'1", 235 pounds. So there is a significant difference in the speed. So you're not getting a one-to-one replacement of Deontay Foreman and Peoples. But if he can come in and provide that short yard distance, be able to pick up them short downs, then he'll be a key piece to this offense. And I'm all for it. Now, I don't expect him to go out and carry the ball 100-something times and get like 500-something yards as a rookie if he makes the roster. But he is somebody I could definitely see them bringing in to come in on short and goal situations or third and short situations and in key moments of the game to try to pick up them hard yards. Miles Sanders is a great running back, but he's not necessarily known for running through people. But I do believe this could be a good addition to the team. We're going to have to see how he does in the training camp and through preseason. Let's see how it translates to NFL caliber players. Okay. Again, to summarize, 6'1", 217 pounds, north to south runner. Doesn't avoid contact, can catch out of the backfield. He does have the ability to catch out of the backfield. It wasn't his go-to in college, but if called upon, he definitely can do that. I have seen several plays in there, and I think he had 6 receptions for 70-something yards. So it's not something that he's bread and butter. It's not something he's going to do every game, but it's definitely something he can do if you need him to. Again, key point, he might not be able to get to the outside in the NFL because he does lack that breakaway speed. Because, again, he did run a 4.6 140, and I know some people were thinking, no, that's not too slow. But when you've got a lot of defensive ends coming out of college now running 4.4 40s, this can make it difficult to get to the outside. I mean, you think about Brian Burns, Barno. Let's see. Who was the other dude? I think DJ Johnson, he ran a 4.6. Trying to think. I can't think off the top of my head, but I know there were several players in this year's draft at the edge position that ran 4.4 40s, between 4.4 and 4.5. So the inability to be able to get away from those to get into the second level to get that extra yardage, outside might not be the best option. I mean, hell, I think we had a defensive tackle in this year's draft that ran a 4.49, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look that up and get back with you on that, but I do believe there was a defensive tackle that ran a sub 4.6 in this year's draft. So that right there tells you that this league is changing. Unfortunately, the truth of the matter is you're going to have speed at the skill positions in order to succeed. Unless you're just an absolute monster and you're 6'4", 270 pounds, and you're running a 4.61 running through people, that's a completely different story. Cameron People is not that running back. He is 6'1", 217, so a little bit larger frame, but he's not going to sit there and run through 3 or 4 tackles and get you 10 yards per play. I do relatively see it possible that he could get you to 2 to 3 yards in a short to go situation, which is exactly what we need him for. Alright, next we have Mark Milton, cornerback, Baylor. I will say from here on out, the ability to find highlight videos so I can try to pinpoint the exact skill set these players have, and just trying to find information on them in general, it starts to go downhill. And if I have, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you're in college and you're playing in college, someone like Mark Milton, Kobe Richardson, Austin Ajayi, any of those players, please get your friends to record you a video of you playing. Get some highlights. Put it on YouTube. Put it on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it takes. Get yourself out there. Because I have a feeling that a big reason why some of these kids didn't get any more attention than they did was because they weren't getting themselves out there. You got to promote yourself, and no one's going to look out for you more than you will. And this is the only video I could find of Mark Milton. I mean, it's a nice little play, but that's it. That's all I can find. What I could find on him, he's 6'0", 181 pounds. He did run a 4.440 at his pro day, and from what I could see, he only had 1 interception and I think 3 balls batted at during his career at Baylor. There's a lot of unknown. Again, there wasn't a lot of information out there for Mark Milton. So this is what I have, just based on what I've seen. 6'0", 181 pounds. That's a slight frame for a cornerback. That's around the same size as Deontay Jackson. He's been having some injury problems lately, but that's not to say that this kid is going to have the same problem. I'll be honest, I don't see him making the team unless it's in a special teams role, just because there's so little. I feel like if this kid had the talent and the ability to play the position of cornerback, there would be more information out there on him. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. There might be just buried in the number of players that were coming out of college and just one or forgotten few. So, I mean, if you know of any information or where I can find some more information on Mark Milton, please feel free to drop a comment. I'll definitely take a look at that and make a video to adjust anything that I've said here. Let's go. Next up, we have Josh Vann, wide receiver, South Carolina. Go ahead and get his video started here. Josh Vann is what you can call an explosive wide receiver. He strikes out or hits home runs. Let's put it that way. When he's open, he's open. But there's a lot of times where he doesn't get open. I know he is a pretty good punt returner, as you can see here. He has that twitch, that ability to get around defenders. He's 5'10". He's not afraid of contact either. I can think of another wide receiver that played for Carolina that was 5'9", 180-something pounds that didn't fear contact. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be him, but I do like the comparison there about what the feistiness that he does play with. Let's go here. Alright, so Josh Vann's strengths: he ran well and showed off explosiveness in pro day testing. He ran a 4.4 340. He switches up route tempos to keep defensive backs guessing. Always a good thing. You don't want defensive backs getting comfortable knowing what you're going to be doing. You want to switch it up quite regularly. He's able to plant and accelerate quickly when beating press. That means he's going to have better separation on routes, which is something that you definitely want to see. And he did show off a second gear against Georgia in 2021, and he averaged 15.1 yards per punt return in 2022. So again, great punt returner. If nothing else, I think he's going to step in and play that role for us. Now, weakness: he pops upright, getting into his breaks underneath. Basically, that's kind of like a dead giveaway of what you're doing when you pop up like that. And let's see, he needs to break off routes at tighter angles. He likes to round out his routes. That's basically what that means. He has average bursts to separate at the break points. This is coming from NFL.com. I don't know. I didn't really see that. I feel like he had a really decent burst. I mean, in fact, they even up there able to plant and accelerate quickly when beating press. Kind of contradicting their strengths and weaknesses from NFL.com here. Inconsistent adjusting position and speed against ball challenges. I can see that. But again, he's not one of those players that are able to turn around and high point a ball. He's 5'10", so if the quarterback's throwing a trash ball, it's going to be a lot harder for someone 5'10" to adjust to that ball than it would be for someone who's 6'2" or taller. Let's see. And they said average talent after the catch. I would have to disagree with that. Just simply because maybe average for someone who's 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds. This kid is definitely not that size. He's 5'10", I think 185, 190 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. And the boy doesn't run away from contact. He'll try to run through you. Doesn't always succeed, but he's going to try. And to me, that is above average. Well above average, in my opinion. Someone who's not afraid to go and try to fight for them extra yards, they got a spot on my team any day. Alright. Other undrafted free agent signings that I couldn't find much information on. I couldn't find any highlight reels or much information online in general. It's going to be offensive tackle Ricky Lee, North Carolina A&T. Offensive line Nash Johnson, North Dakota State. Linebacker Austin Ajayic, UNLV, University of Las Vegas. And quarterback Colby Richardson, LSU. I did find that he's 6 foot, 193 pounds, and ran a 4.4 40. He started in 5 games in 2022, but there's not much information. He didn't have any big splash plays while he was there, and there's no highlight reel of him. And then Edge Travis Moore, Arizona State. I do believe he did transfer to LSU as well. But again, I couldn't find any information on him. So if anybody has any game film, any footage of these players, or any information that I did not present here, please feel free to send a link in the comment below. Episode of I Bleed Blue. Next time we're going to do a full breakdown of my thoughts and opinions on the NFL draft itself. I know it's been a couple of days, but I just wanted to let everything kind of settle. Wanted to do some research because I'm not well versed on some of the players we got in the later rounds. I just wanted to take a deeper dive into those and get a better feel for what my thoughts and feelings are on them. So for now, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you and God bless.
You can't see us, you can't read us, all we do is keep pounding. Keep